It's a soggy Saturday afternoon here at Spa in Belgium, but the good news is, well, it has stopped raining for the moment. Hello and welcome this afternoon to the home of the Belgian Grand Prix. If you're just joining us and if you missed this morning's action, well, quite simply, there wasn't any. Torrential rain, which started at 4 o'clock this morning, it has pelted down until fortunately just a few moments ago. So let's catch up with today's proceedings. Race 1 this morning at 10 o'clock was suspended. Now, critically, it was not cancelled, so it may be raced at a further date. This is race 1, taking the place of the reverse grid race 2. So basically, let's disregard what did not happen this morning, and the grid is identical to what lined up this morning in the pouring rain here at Spa. It's round 3 of the 2026 FIA Formula Regional European Championship, and you join us here at Spa-Francorchamps, the legendary circuit. It's the third race of the 8th of 8 in the 2026 season. Alex Munoz took a stunning pole position yesterday afternoon. Hard to believe, it was hot here yesterday. It was 31 degrees Celsius and beautiful sunshine. The young French rookie, the first rookie to take pole position in the all-new Formula Regional European Championship. Car 95 lines up on pole position. Rashid Al-Bahedi, now he was fastest in his group of qualifying yesterday and therefore starts out of grid 2, the Yashit Marina driver. And with that, let's take a bit of a walk back through the grid for the first race here this weekend at Spa-Francorchamps. So Munoz on pole position. This is Rashid. Home circuit, the magnificent Yas Marina circuit in his hometown of Abu Dhabi in the incredible United Arab Emirates. Already a race winner thus far. He won the reverse grid race at the Red Bull Ring, the first round of the championship. And then we go to car 51, Kin Nakamura for the Prema Racing Team. Also a race winner, lines up on grid 3, the Williams F1 Academy Junior driver, Kin Nakamura, the London-born Slovakian-Japanese driver who last year won the Italian F4 Championship. We move to the outside of the second row of the grid. This is Sebastian Weldon from Florida in the United States of America. 6 days ago, he took victory at Zandvoort. In the Netherlands, he is the championship leader, the Andretti Junior driver. MP Motorsport, the Dutch team, here in the French-speaking part of Belgium, starts out of grid 4. We move back to car 2, out of grid 5. This is Alex Ninovich from Sydney, Australia, who's been in great form in 2026. It's his 4th year living away from home, living at Farnham in the Kings, England, for the Rodin Motorsport team. His teammate, incidentally, just behind, Gabriel Gomez. He is one of the rookies here. It was actually Kin Nakamura who last year beat the Brazilian from Florianopolis to the Italian Formula 4 title. The Rodin Motorsport cars are split by the Toyota driver from the land of the rising sun. This is Yuki Sano, who starts alongside Alex Ninovich. We go back to Gabriel Gomez. O menino do Brasil, car 78, do Florianopolis. The second of the Rodin Motorsport cars. We'll just get a look at, firstly, the track surface. Yes, obviously soaking. This is the to protect the front. It's basically a wet weather guard for the front brakes, not on the rear of the car, obviously. Obviously, the Pirelli wet tyres. Ride height has been raised. Incidentally, the rear wing, it is in the high position. The front wing on these new Tata's T326 cars, it is not incredibly in full downforce because despite the fact that the track is wet, they're still doing almost 250 kilometers an hour on the Kemmel Straight. Emanuele Olivieri, also a rookie, the Italian. Try and get a quick word with Emanuele. Buongiorno, Emanuele. Sei pronto? How are you? Are you ready for this wet race finally here today?
Yeah, I mean, finally, I hope we are going to race. It's the first time we'll have a wet race with this car, and I'm very confident. I think we have the pace, and wet race, you know, here is going to be a crazy race, so I'm really looking forward to race.
Grazie e buona gara. Good luck to Emanuele Olivieri, representing also the Automobile Club of Italy for the RSGP team. Rino Francot, let's go back 1 month to the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Rino Francot, the CL Motorsport team, he took a stunning victory for the all-new team. This is Reno, starting a little bit further back on the grid, inside of the 5th row of the grid. Race winner at the Red Bull Ring. And then we go to Reza Suwarathan, also for the Roden team. So the Roden Motorsport team have got 3 cars inside the top 10. Let's have a quick word with Reza Suwarathan. Reza, finally we get a chance to race, albeit still on a very wet track here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's definitely wet out here. Still a bit of standing water, but much better conditions than it was earlier. I say racing in the UK is putting me at a bit of an advantage today, so looking forward to it. It'll be a good race.
Are you nervous after missing the start? And by that I mean anxious to get on with the race this afternoon after a lot of waiting around this morning?
Not particularly, no. Just a bit disappointed it's not a standing start. I think it would have given us a few more opportunities, but it's all right. I'm sure we'll have the pace.
Best of luck this afternoon, Reza Suwarathan, and great to see the support for Will Mack on the side of your car. Thanks, mate. Reza Suwarathan on the outside of the 5th row of the grid. Max Popoff, of course, the Trident Motorsport team have dominated in World Formula 3, Formula 2 and in Formula Regional for the last couple of seasons. Max Popoff was struggling with the 33 car in the dry conditions yesterday, and now I can tell you he is confident as he lines up out of grid 11 for the Trident Motorsport team. Popoff in car 33 on the 6th row of the grid alongside El Colombiano Salim Hana. Hernandez, WSK Open Cup champion. Salim in car 88 to start on the 6th row of the grid. No better mentor than the 2-time Indianapolis 500 champion, Juan Pablo Montoya, who has mentored young Salim, the Colombian driver. And we go to Jules Roussel, also with the CL Motorsport team. Jules Roussel, of course, we go back 1995. Patrice Roussel, who won the Le Mans 24-hour race in the LMP2 class in 1995. Second, in fact, 3rd-generation racer. A quick word, if we can, with Jules Roussel. Jules, vous êtes prêt? Are you ready for this race, finally, in the rain?
Yes, I'm ready, and finally, because it was quite frustrating this morning to not drive, and now the cloud goes out, and I hope to have a great race.
Bon chance, bon course, Jules Roussel, whose grandfather actually was a rally driver in the European Rally Championship. His cousin, Leo, Le Mans champion, European Le Mans champion in 2017, and his father, Patrice, who won the LMP2 class in the Le Mans 24-hour race back in 1995, 31 years ago. We keep going back through the grid. Matteo Giacardi, the car still up on the jacks. Beautiful sunshine. I am an optimist. We've almost got blue skies and a little bit of sunshine in the background if we conveniently try and ignore the dark clouds as we look up past Eau Rouge and High Dion. Matteo Giacardi from Monaco. A quick word with Matteo. How do you feel going into this wet race finally here this afternoon?
Honestly, I'm very excited, as we didn't have the occasion to race this morning. I'm really looking forward to it and gaining some position and doing a good race.
Bon chance, bon course, Matteo Giacardi. Of course, 1 week out for the biggest Grand Prix in the world, the Monaco Formula 1 Grand Prix next week in the hometown, Monte Carlo of Matteo. Keep going back through the grid. Kai Darianani, car 87, also for the Trident Motorsport team in concentration. You can see the Pirelli wet tyres here. Not a sticker set. A quick word with Kai Darianani. Kai, a lot of waiting around, a lot of Belgian waffles this morning, but finally ready to go, still on a wet track.
Yeah, of course, conditions are tricky, quite different to what we've had in practice, but I'm looking forward to this one.
Have you had much time with the car, the new car in the wet?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting car to drive. Hold on, I'm just getting a radio message, sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, copy. yeah, we're just getting information now from the team about how the start's going to go. We've been told it's going to be behind the safety car, all these little things.
How do you feel on the wet track? Almost certainly we've got the start delayed, but a safety car start. Do you feel better about that, or did you want to race up into turn one from a standing start?
I'm happy either way, but I was hoping a little bit for a standing start, I won't lie.
Kai Darianani for the Trident Motorsport team, at best of luck. We keep going back through the grid. Almost blue sky here at Spa-Francorchamps, of course, the Belgian Formula One Grand Prix taking place here later this year, before going on to an alternative basis on the calendar with Barcelona. This is Marcus Sarta. We go back to the first round of the championship when he ended in the wall. Marcus Sarta, 6 days after Martinez took victory in the Formula 2 Grand Prix in Montreal. Can you emulate your countrymen? And of course, Dennis, also racing the Indy 500. Can you come home with a good result this weekend?
Yeah, we started with the new best result in quali, so we're starting a bit higher up than usual. So yeah, I'll just try to do my best, and I like these conditions. So yeah, let's push.
Good luck, Marcus. For a small country, they have produced some superstars. Of course, Martinez taking victory in Montreal last week, and also Dennis lining up on the grid in the Indianapolis 500. Well, the track is still saturated wet, but there is blue sky in the background. We are just moments away from racing. This is race 1 in place of the reverse grid at race 2. We are going to get underway in just a few moments behind the safety car. This is race 1, round 3, the FIA Formula Regional European Championship at Spa here in Belgium. Chris, finally, we race.
Thank you, Ian Salvestrian. Brilliant work down there on the grid, and getting the chance with this delayed start to get a good look down the grid as well. You can see it is now being cleared by all teams. We are just 3 minutes away from seeing the drivers go off on the formation lap. And as Kai Darianani told us, we will start this race behind the safety car as well. So it will not be a grid start, which I think is a sensible decision before we went live and before all the cars lined up on that start-finish straight. You could see, and this shot will show you, there is some standing water around that start-finish straight. So I think a sensible decision by the team in race control to have a start behind the safety car. There's a look at Renaud Francot just getting himself ready. Another update also is that there will be no race mode for this race as well. Some of you may know that as the push-to-pass system. It gives the drivers 100 seconds of extra 15 horsepower, which they can use as and when they like throughout the race after the first lap is completed. But we will not have race mode in this race. Again, a sensible decision made by the team in race control. There is one update to the grid to bring you, and that is Francisco Macedo has been given a 3-place grid drop for an incident that happened when we were out on track earlier, albeit in a race that was suspended. Had an incident with Dion Gouda down at Stavolo with Francisco just locking up the front tyres in what was very treacherous conditions, making contact with Dion Gouda, which put the cars into the gravel, and with that he has been given a 3-place penalty. So let's go through the grid, because that isn't the only grid drop that we have as well. There's also ones for Alex Akhazavar, which came from practice. Giovanni Maschio has a 5-place grid drop from the last round, and Sakir Al-Misergi a 10-place grid drop. You can see the order to the left-hand side of your screen. Alexander Munoz, the first rookie on pole and the first in this championship since Noah Stromstead at the Red Bull Ring in 2024. Can he give ART Grand Prix their first win in 1 year? They last won with Evan Gilter, another Frenchman at Misano. Rashid Al-Daheri to the right of screen alongside him. Nakamura, Berta and Weldon are row 2. Alex Ninovic is on row 3 with Yuki Sano, a personal best for him in qualifying, and Alex Ninovic, someone who has gone well around here in GB3, taking the win in 2025. A first top 12 appearance for Gabriel Gomez. We say top 12 because that is what we usually reverse for the second race, but this first race is now in place of the second race. We do have the option to run that second race later on in the weekend, or indeed the season. Emanuele Olivieri alongside him. Renaud Francot is on row 5 with Reza Siworthen. And then we have Maximilian Popov and Salim Hanna on row 6. Row 7 is Jules Russell and Matteo Giccardi. Row 8, Kai Darianani and Marcus Sata. Giovanni Maschio drops 5 places to 17th, and he's alongside Newman Chi, the Aston Martin Junior. Andrea Kostic is on row 10 with Thomas Stolchamanis. Then it's Jan Shirovsky and Dion Gauda. Then we will have Miguel Costa and Alex Apkazavar, and then behind that will be Andrea Dupé and Francisco Macedo with his 3-place grid drop. Kabir Anurag is on row 14 with Thomas Strauven, the Belgian driver, and Rahim Alabai is on row 15 with Zakir Al-Maserji, who has that 10-place grid drop. Well, I can tell you, if you were with us earlier, you'll see that that is a huge improvement in terms of the conditions, and it's a miracle really that we are even in this position. The only noise that we've had around this circuit today has been the noise of the thunderstorms that have been constantly making their way over the circuit, but just in time to go racing. It is cleared up, and now we look ready to go. Let's, while we're on this formation lap, go back down to Ian Salvestrine in the pit lane. Ian, how's it looking down there?
Chris, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is almost sunshine here at Spa in Belgium. It was torrential not 25 minutes ago, but there is blue sky in the background. The track's still wet. Of course, safety is a concern. We are under the direction of our race director, Mr. Thomas Zettner Jr., Deputy Race Director, Mr. Dino Lodler, and Sebastian Martin representing the FIA. A quick word this morning with the FIA driver advisor and the president of the single-seater commission for the FIA, Mr. Emanuele Pirro. There were 2 questions in the reconnaissance laps this morning. How is the grip? Yeah, that was self-explanatory. There was none. And what was the visibility like? For the moment, yes, there's a lot of spray. We look as though we will finally get underway and race this weekend here at Spa in Belgium. For the moment, it is not raining. The track is saturated, but we have finally got a raceable track here this afternoon. Chris?
Thank you, Ian. Yes, it is getting a lot better out there. We can just see the cars now making their way through Pif Paf chicane and down towards Stavelo. Hopefully we should get going very soon, and again, great work by the team all around the circuit to make sure we are in a safe position to go racing. The caterhams were just out, 53 caterhams taking to the circuit, and I think they have done a good job with helping clear some of the standing water that is around. Of course, now we are on this formation lap, there will be radio messages to the drivers just to check all is okay conditions wise, and the safety car team will also be doing that as well before we do get this race underway. But the sun has now just come out for the first time today, really. It's been a very grey skies so far, lots of rain, lots of thunder around the circuit, but it looks like we are going to be able to get going for race 1 of the weekend. The safety car remaining out there for the time being as they come back onto the start-finish straight. Now, a first pole for Alexandre Munoz. He took pole in French F4 here last season. This is 3rd appearance, and looking to put ART Grand Prix on the top step of the podium here at Spa for the first time since Gregoire Saucy did it in 2021. All 5 champion from the FREC Championship won at Spa, so there is a common theme there that the champion often wins at this circuit before going on to take the title. Down towards Eau Rouge. Let's just monitor the conditions here. It looks like it's really starting to clear up now. Of course, we are not at full racing speed yet. Once that happens, then we will know what the conditions are. But the only laps that these drivers have done around here in the wet is the ones they did behind the safety car earlier, and there was a lot of standing water around at that point. They were having to take it very, very easily just to get round. So this is going to be, for 20 drivers, their first race at this circuit, and I'm sure for many drivers the first time that they are driving these cars around this circuit. So it's going to be a case of who can adapt the fastest. The experience will definitely help the likes of Rashid Al-Daheri, for example. So they're just coming up through Les Combes now. We've still got a bit of time, I think, before we're going to see them getting underway. So let's go check back in down with Ian in pit lane.
Chris, I can't believe I'm saying this, but look at that up in the sky. I left the Oakleys upstairs in the media centre. There is sunshine finally here in Belgium. This is what we had yesterday, albeit it was 10 degrees warmer. Now, just a little bit of a technicality. This morning, we did not race. There were 2 observation laps. There were 2 reconnaissance laps. In theory, nothing took place this morning. Now we do effectively have a race start because you can see the clock is ticking down. Now, this rule was brought in after the Belgian Formula One Grand Prix about 5 years ago, 2021 off memory, when they actually did 2 race laps. Half points were awarded. Nikita Mazepin scored the fastest lap of the race. That will never be taken away from the Haas Russian driver. So a new rule was implemented. We had no race this morning. They were observation, reconnaissance laps. Now we do have a race start. We had to try this morning. There was no chance, but they did make the effort. So in case it did clear up, which it is doing rapidly here this afternoon, we did have an attempt to start the race. But now the race is officially underway. It's just a matter of time before that beautiful Yaris safety car pulls into pit lane. Incidentally, the same Yaris 3-cylinder engine, albeit not turbocharged, with the same power that the race cars have got, powering that Toyota Yaris. The safety car pulls into pit lane and we will race green. Finally, there's a lot of anticipation here for the first race, round 3 of this year's FIA Formula Regional European Championship. Chris, the car's just coming through the back part of the circuit. We are moments away from a start, finally, here at Spa.
Thank you, Ian. Yes, some very good information to be brought to you there. We had those observation laps earlier, but now it is time to go racing for the first time, and the pace has been handed over to pole sitter Alexandra Munoz, who will take us on to the start-finish straight. They're just coming up towards that final chicane, and it will be down to him to when he wants to put his foot down and get this one underway. The ART Grand Prix French driver taking us down to the chicane. He sits 11th place in the championship. A win here theoretically could put him into the top 5. Point system similar to F1, points to your top 10, 25 to the winner. Munoz has already scored 2 for taking pole position. There is a point for fastest lap as well. This round 3 of 8 of the season, one of 4 rounds where we were due to have a triple header, but the schedule has had to change due to the weather. So this, the first race of the weekend, the grid set by qualifying yesterday afternoon, and it's going to be Alexandra Munoz leading us down towards the final corner as we are now underway for the first time here at Spa. Aldeheri in second place, then it's Nakamura, Berta as they make their way through the chicane and onto the start-finish straight, and now it'll be a case of who can adapt the fastest to the conditions. For the very first time this week, they are at racing speed in wet conditions here at Spa as we are now officially underway for the first race of round 3. In towards the first hairpin they go, and there's a change. Is there Yuki Sano trying to make some positions, but all the field safely through the chicane and onto the start-finish straight, and now it's down to Eau Rouge for the first time. Leading us up there is Munoz, Aldeheri in second, then Nakamura Berta. The orange MP is Sebastian Weldon in fourth, then the black and white Rodin is Alex Ninovic next along, or has he been passed, in fact, I think, by Yuki Sano. Down the Kemmel Straight for the first time, Aldeheri to the right of screen, trying to go round the outside on Munoz. It looks like he has the run on the brakes. They go in towards Lake Combe now, and Aldeheri's going to go all the way around the outside, has to back out in the end. Munoz just holding on to that position. Nakamura Berta catching Aldeheri now as they head down towards the hairpin for the first time at Brussels. Weldon just dropping back a little bit in fourth place, but a clean start from everyone so far. Yuki Sano is past Alex Ninovic for fifth place, and Ninovic running wide there, and his teammate Gabriel Gomez trying to go past. You can see them at the top of screen. The black and white Rodin cars are nose to tail. Emanuele Olivieri next along. Dennis Francot and Reza Siwerthen, as Ian said, all of the Rodin cars up there in the top 10, and now side by side, that's Olivieri side by side with Gabriel Gomez. I think that is trying to go around the outside as they come through Pouhon into the chicane. Now, are we going to see any changes of position? Olivieri going around the outside there, trying to get on the move, but just looks like they remain side by side now, heading towards Stavolo next. It's Munoz leading from Aldeheri. Oh, and there we go. You can see Olivieri with Francot behind. He was trying to go around the outside of Gabriel Gomez. Didn't quite manage to get through. And now it's the run down through Blanchimont and up towards the final chicane. Munoz breaking away just a little bit out front. Aldeheri with him. There are the top three in your picture, and they have certainly broken away from the rest of the field. Weldon next, and then it is Ninovic and Sarno. We've got the likes of Newman Chi, who could be one to watch in this race. He started down in 18th. He's P5 in the championship. We'll see if he can make some positions. There goes one of the Tridents going around the outside. Is that Kai Darianani? I think it might have been making places. Aldeheri certainly is coming under pressure as Munoz has set the fastest lap of the race, and he's got a gap of 1.3 seconds over Rashid Aldeheri and Keen Nakamura Berta. Weldon is under pressure himself from Yuki Sano. Toyota's Yuki Sano, who seems to be settling into this race very well so far. Already has gained a place, now trying to gain another. Oh, and contacts there. Francot's gone off. Ado Rouge. Renault Francot off, looking to try and rejoin the circuit. Let's see if he can get back on. I think it was a contact possibly with Olivieri or Maximilian Popov. But we'll see if there's any damage to Renault Francot. Don't know if he had any front wing or suspension damage. We'll find out when he comes into picture. Let's have a look at the replay. And there we go. It was with the Trident there, I think of Olivieri. Renault Francot just making a little bit of contact with him. And now gets back going. I think that was Max Popov, apologies, who he would have made contact with. He is the car in the Trident. So there we go. That's Popov still running. There is Francot, so he's lost a place to Salim Hanna, and looks like Francot doesn't have any damage to the car, any significant damage at least, as they head through Puon once more. And it's Munoz leading, Aldeheri and Nakamura Berta. Still a bit of spray around at that part of the circuit as they head downhill, but all the drivers just trying to get themselves used to these conditions. We've had 2 days running in the dry. That included the qualifying session, which has set the grid for this race. This is the first time this week that they are out in the wet, so it's really a case of who can get used to this the fastest. And Alexandre Munoz does not look like a rookie so far at all, does he? Down towards Blanchimont now we go, and Aldeheri is under pressure here from Nakamura Berta, who is closing in. Will he be able to make an attempt in towards the chicane, put some pressure under Aldeheri? He's getting a little bit closer, maybe not close enough now for an attempt. He's going to take the outside line, but Aldeheri was taking absolutely no chances there. Defended into the chicane, and that will give Nakamura Berta the run coming on to the start-finish straight. We head down to La Source now. Are we going to see a move here from Nakamura Berta? Aldeheri defending to the inside, Nakamura Berta to the outside, and we could see them side by side down towards Eau Rouge. Meanwhile, Weldon dealing with the pressure of Sarno very well. Then it's Ninovic, and Reza Sirworthen has now come through to 7th place. Reza going really well. He sounded confident on the grid, didn't he, Sirworthen? And he's already made 3 places in this race with a chance to make some more. 4th place for him is just up the road. The British driver going along very well. Raced here in GB3 last year. Now Munoz just trying to find some wet patches down the straight there. So it looks like the track is drying at a bit of a rate here, but I wouldn't say anywhere near to being dry, but they're certainly looking for the wet patches down the straight. Aldeheri defending from Nakamura Berta down towards Brussels now, and the gap just over a second to Munoz out front. Let's go through some of the rest of the order then. It is Weldon, Sarno, Ninovic, Sirworthen, Gabriel Gomez in 8th, Olivieri in 9th, and Maximilian Popov, the last of the point scorers so far. We have a rookie leading the way in Munoz out front. The field just stretching out now, isn't it? It's 1.8 to Aldeheri. Weldon 4 seconds back then after that with Sarno. Let's watch for Reza Sirworthen, because he certainly seems to be going along very well in the early stages of this race. And Renault Francot, I think that is trying to recover. We saw him off going down to Eau Rouge. There's Gabriel Gomez, and now Francot once again, I think, under pressure. In fact, there's Gabriel Gomez there. So he's got Olivieri and Popov just behind him. Salim Hanna in the red and white Prema is there as well. And is that a safety car out? It is. So safety car has come out. Just trying to figure out who it is we have missing, but that will be revealed when they all come across the line. The ART team watching on from the pit wall. Sadly for Munoz, his gap will now disappear that he had built up to Al Dahiri, but he's looked very quick out there so far. It's Munoz from Al Dahiri. Safety car out. Is it Sakir Al-Maserji? Because he is being shown down the back of the field. In fact, I think it's Dion Gouda who has gone missing, the Van Amersfoort racing driver. Just looking over at the timing screen in the commentary box, Dion Gouda has dropped to the back. Not too sure exactly where he has gone off, but we have brought out the safety car as a result. So Munoz leading from Al Dahiri, Nakamura Berta in third. There's the recovery vehicle going to find Dion Gouda now. Weldon fourth, Sarno fifth, Ninovic in sixth place, Reza Siwerthan next along. It's down at the left-hander there, Speaker's corner. We've got Dion Gouda off, and the recovery vehicles are now out to go and retrieve the car. We can't exactly see Dion Gouda's car, but it appears he's gone off into the barriers there. So the safety car now picks up the leader, Munoz. There's a look down the Kemmel Straight. Munoz, Al Dahiri, Nakamura Berta next along. Emanuele Olivieri, you can see the next of the rookies, he's in 8th place. That's where he started. 9th place then is Gabriel Gomez. Started P7, so has just dropped back a couple. And then it's Maximilian Popov, the Trident car next, who's moved up one into the top 10. Salim Hanna is in 11th place. Jules Roussel, who we heard from on the grid, he's in 12th place. Kai Darianani has gained a couple. He's in 13th. Marcus Sarta in 14th. Giacardi in 15th. Francot, we saw go off at Eau Rouge, and since then he has dropped down to 16th place. Then it is Thomas Stolchemanis next along, who has made a little bit of progress in this one. Giovanni Maschio is in 18th place. He had a 5-place grid drop, dropping him down. Andrea Kostic is in 19th, where he started. Newman Chi in 20th. Miguel Costa is in 21st place. Then it's Alex Akazavar, who is up a couple. Jan Shadovsky next along in 23rd. Francisco Macedo, Andrea Dupay, Kabir Alarag, Thomas Stravin, Rahim Alabai, Sakir Al-Maserji. Safety car it is then, Ian. We're halfway through. Any updates for us down in pit lane?
It's not a good afternoon, as we've just seen, for Dion Gouda, who's parked at the side of the circuit. It looks as though the Indians driver weekend, or day certainly, is over. We tried to get a quick word with Danielle Kiel, who is the team manager for the Van Amersfoort racing team, and she understandably said, yeah, not at the moment, so we'll try and get an update directly. Dion, we believe, is okay, the car to a stop on the side of the circuit. The good news though, Chris, look at that. The sun's shining. It is actually warm, incredibly. Well, it can change it very quickly here in Spa. The chance of slick tyres. How much do we have? Half the race left to go. It's actually possible because it's actually getting warm. Unlikely, but we may see a frantic pit stop race towards the end of the race, or a charge into the pits. We have to feel for Alex Munoz for the Art Grand Prix team. He had a lead of 1.9 seconds. It now evaporates, but the French driver, the rookie, still does hold the race lead. Dion Gouda out of race 1. Chris?
Thank you, Ian. Keep the weather reports coming in. They are being very helpful to us. But, as Ian said, you can see the sun is out there from the drone. So good to see that just in time for the FIA FREC race that the sun has come out, allowing us to get underway. Like Ian said though, Munoz's gap has now evaporated. He had built it up to 1.9 seconds, and this will give a chance for Rashid Al Dahiri to go on the attack here. He's been pretty much on the defence since this race started from King Nakamura Berta, but this may change things for him now. We'll have a chance to try and move forward. Munoz, no doubt, will be looking in his mirrors and just trying to build up that gap. There is Daniel, the team principal of Van Amersfoort Racing. Good to hear that Dion Gouda is okay. We'll see if we can get any updates from the pit wall. CL Motorsport also watching on. Their driver, Renaud Francot, we saw have that bit of contact coming down the hill, but otherwise CL Motorsport going along really well. They've got Jules Roussel just outside the points as well. See if the French driver can get himself in towards the points paying positions. Similar to what you have in Formula 1, as I said, 25 to your winner, 18 to second, 15 to third, 12 points for fourth, and then we work down in twos all the way to 1 point for P10. Championship positions, let's go through that. It's Sebastian Weldon leading as we started this race on 82 points. Renaud Francot is on 70, and then we have Aldeheri on 60, Nakamura Berta on 55, Newman Chi on 32. Ian, who have you found in pit lane?
I have found the man who is responsible for putting so many single-seater racing cars on the track around the world. Not only the Tata's Formula 4 car, but the new Tata's 326 car. We'll do this in Italian and translate back with Mr. Gianfranco De Bellis. È una bella partenza per la nuova macchina, la terza gara nel campionato europeo, ma nonostante le condizioni, ecco arriva un bel po' di sole e tutto sta andando bene. So notwithstanding the conditions, the man who's put more cars on the circuit, third race for the new car, everything going well.
Sì, fortunatamente sta andando tutto bene, siamo molto contenti della partenza di questo campionato. Questo qua è il terzo evento, molto lavoro hanno svolto i team che si sono sempre dimostrati molto professionali, quindi qualche piccolo conveniente, è una macchina completamente nuova, però sta andando molto bene. Oggi le condizioni meteo, fortunatamente adesso è uscito un po' di sole, purtroppo non abbiamo potuto disputare la prima gara perché le condizioni erano veramente molto critiche, quindi mi è sembrato giusto cancellarle da bandiera rossa, e adesso ci aspettiamo, dopo la ripartenza dietro safety car, degli ultimi giri molto validi. Hanno anche grazie ai pneumatici Pirelli che sulla pioggia penso si stanno dimostrando molto validi. Per questi ragazzi non è facile perché sicuramente qua hanno provato in condizioni di asciutto, ma oggi stanno scoprendo in gara le condizioni da bagnato, però per il momento sta andando tutto molto bene.
So basically recapping what Mr. Gianfranco De Bellis of Tata's has said, yes, everybody at the factory at Monza has put in so much work. This is the third race for the new car in the European Championship. Notwithstanding the conditions, everyone is very satisfied with the performance of the new car, and let's hope they bring it home safely. E la prossima gara giocate in casa. The next race is a home race perché corriamo a Monza.
Sì, la prossima gara è sulla nostra pista, la nostra azienda è nata grazie a Monza, quindi per noi quando si corre a Monza è sempre un evento speciale, e quindi aspettiamo veramente questa gara di Monza perché è sempre la pista da dove tutto è partito, quindi è impossibile non avere un sentimento molto forte con il circuito di Monza.
Thank you, Ian. We'll have to leave it there. We are back racing now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gianfranco De Bellis.
Thank you, Ian. We'll have to leave it there because Munoz is now going to get us back underway. Thank you for the team down at Tatus and to Ian, but we are now back green. Alexandra Munoz is going to take us over the line once again. Rashid Aldeheri in second place, Nakamura Berta in third, and Nakamura Berta in the red and white Prema on the attack down at La Source. Can Munoz get a gap once again? He had built up a lead of almost 2 seconds, and already it looks like he's stretched clear, and out of here he's going to be under pressure. Down towards Eau Rouge we go. Nakamura Berta right in the tow. Remember, there is no race mode for this race due to the conditions, but Nakamura Berta will have an almighty run now, surely down the Kemmel Straight, and Aldeheri will be trying his best to defend. We can see them all getting to the inside to try and find the wet patches, but here comes Nakamura Berta down the outside. We'll see them side by side in towards Les Combes. There goes Nakamura Berta all the way around the outside. What a move from Nakamura Berta, but what a defence from Aldeheri. Keeps the place. And they remain as they are. Heading down to the Brussels hairpin now. Weldon in fourth is under attack from Yuki Sano and Alex Ninovic. Then in P6 from Siwerthen, Olivieri, Gabriel Gomez and Maximilian Popov in P10. This the corner. We lost Dion Gauda from the race, but we're hearing he is all okay. Down to Pouon they head, and Munoz just getting a little bit of a gap out front, but now Aldaheri has held on to second place. Will he be able to get back after the French driver leading the way, who's looking for his first win of the season and a first for ART Grand Prix since Misano last year through Piff Paff. Now Yuki Sano there, the Toyota-backed driver, trying to get past Sebastian Weldon. Yuki Sano never been at any of the circuits coming into this season. Renault Francois, is he carrying a little bit of damage? I wonder. He's just under attack from Kai Dadianani. Well, he certainly is now. Contact there, and that is Francois off, coming through Stavolo, and Renault Francois will now drop to the back of the field, gets on the runoff there on the exit of the corner, the escape road, to get him back onto the circuit. Will we see him come into the pits? Well, we're going to see a safety car. Ah, no, the Aston Martin Junior, Newman Chi, out of the race, and that is at Stavolo as well. So, well, there we go. Newman Chi out of the race. Real shame for him. Started down the field, looking to get back up. P5 in the championship, but we will see him dropping down, of course. Tomorrow's schedule is another qualifying session before what would be race 3, so he'll have a chance to go again tomorrow. Safety car back out then, and as I've said already, this is the first time for these drivers in these conditions this weekend, and for 20 of them, they have never raced here before. Some of them may have never really been here before, so there's a lot of learning to do, and a lot of learning to do very quickly as well. Let's watch then out of Stavolo into Curveball Frere we go. Well, that's the contact, isn't it, with Francois, which took him out of the, well, certainly towards the back of the field. Are we going to see Yuki Sano come into shot? No. In fact, that's at the Brussels hairpin, I believe, that Sano's gone off. So Yuki Sano out, and they'll look to get him back. We may still get some running here, but there won't be a lot of time on the clock when we do. It will be 2 or 3 laps at most, I'd say, that we are going to get now. ART watching on from the pit wall, hoping to see their driver Munoz win. Can we see the rookie get up there? ART Grand Prix. We haven't seen them win since Misano race 2 last year, when Evan Gilter won from pole position. Is it going to be from one French driver to another? And he is a rookie as well. We didn't see any rookies take race wins last season. You've got to go back a little bit before that happened in terms of a rookie driver winning. Evan Gilter won as a rookie in 2024 at Hockenheim, which was the first round of the season, and I believe that is the last driver to win as a rookie. So some consistency there. Just under 5 to go, but there it is. So that's confirmation that we saw the Aston Martin Junior Newman Chi off down at the Brussels hairpin. RHGP watching on. They've been on the top step here before, the RHGP team. We've seen them win with Enzo Deligny last year, Gabriel Bortoletto as well. They won here with him in 2022. Well, the safety team is still out. We'll see if we can get back down to Ian in the pit lane. Unfortunately, we had to cut off a little bit quickly last time due to the fact we did have a race underway, but we'll see if we can get another word with Ian before we go back racing, because we're certainly going to have one more lap behind the safety car, and then it will be around a 2-3 lap sprint. There's well, they've got drivers out on the kart circuit, looking busy, isn't it? Just to the left of screen there. I think anyone who has come to do karting today is pretty brave, because slick tyres on those as well, isn't it? So yeah, that's tricky. Ian, would you be out on the kart circuit today?
In all the years I've been coming to Spa, Chris, I've never made it down to, that is a very famous circuit, that is the Spa-Francorchamps kart circuit, where Jos the boss learned to race karts in the early 1980s. That's Max's father and his mother, Sophie. It's actually a round of the Belgian Championships taking place today. Yes, we will have a one-lap sprint to the checkered flag here in race one, another full course yellow lap. I cannot tell you how warm it is here this afternoon. Incredible conditions. Well, this circuit is certainly famous for it. Behind me, the CL Motorsport team who took victory at the Red Bull Ring in the first round with Renault Franco, but not a good afternoon for the driver. Good afternoon for the driver for the Netherlands, Renault Franco, going very wide, and that has ruined his chances after questionable contact just a few laps ago. What about the Aston Martin Junior Newman Tenrucci, who's parked into the gravel, and that has brought out the safety car. It looks as though it is a very long lap here. It's 2 minutes 13, 2 minutes 15 in ideal conditions. We're lapping at around about 2:33. So a very long lap, of course, one lap of Spa. This circuit, 7,004 metres, not to mention the old circuit, which was almost 20 kilometres in length, going down to the old town of Malmedy. So basically, let's summarise, it will be a one-lap sprint at best to the checkered flag. Race one, I can't believe I'm saying this, beautiful sunshine here at Spa on a sunny Saturday afternoon. Chris?
And Ian, just to stay with you, Francisco Macedo appears to be the other driver who is off, so that's 2 cars out for Van Amersfoort Racing. Have we seen any activity down there in pit lane, or any word from the team at Van Amersfoort as to what might happen?
Let's just say they weren't in the most talkative mood. We did try and get a word with them, but it certainly was not the right time. We'll catch up with them after the race. It looks as though it was they were just victims of the conditions here. The drivers are both fine, but not a good afternoon for Van Amersfoort, which is almost a second home race for them. Of course, Van Amersfoort from the outskirts of Amsterdam in the Netherlands, not too far from Zandvoort, where we raced 6 days ago. Here in Belgium, across the border, 2 drivers out in the first of what is likely to only be now 2 races here this weekend. We'll try and bring you an update for tomorrow morning before we qualify again here at Spa.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, we're going to be safety car in this lap, so not very long before we go. One final word then, Ian, that the format does allow a bit of a reset for drivers, doesn't it, with another qualifying session scheduled, so they can go again tomorrow.
Certainly, we're almost getting close to a full Grand Prix distance, of course. 3 30-minute races, 2 qualifying sessions, qualifying yesterday in beautiful conditions on a dry circuit. Race 1 this morning, we're effectively racing now. Race 2, 30 minutes, and then we go again tomorrow. So effectively a complete reset, as you say, regardless of what happens yesterday and today. Qualifying tomorrow morning, and we race again what is effectively the final for race 3. It's not the same format for every round. 8 rounds, some with 3 races, some with 2. Of course, we go to the next round. That's at the home of the Italian Formula 1 Grand Prix at Monza. That's the next round of the championship. And then we go to the Hungaroring in Budapest, where incidentally, half the paddock is distracted because, of course, tonight, the Champions League between Arsenal and another team. I know there's some drivers on the grid, particularly one who's leading this race, who is, yes, I wasn't going to say the name, but there's one driver who is leading this race, hoping that the team from the French capital takes victory tonight in the Champions League. But back to the final lap of the race, race 1 here in the Formula Regional European Championships. Chris?
Thank you, Ian. Yes, I'm sure that's definitely what people's attention will be on. But as Ian said, it's going to be a one-lap sprint to the line, and French driver Alexandre Munoz is going to lead us. They are absolutely all queuing up behind, as we can see here from the drone shot. And Alexandre Munoz now gets his foot down. Up we go towards the chicane. Will Munoz be able to hold on? They've come through Blanchimont now into the chicane. Aldeheri's made a good restart. He is right with Munoz. Nakamura Berta, if anything, under pressure. And Yuki Sano trying to go by Seb Weldon in the orange MP car through the chicane. And Aldeheri in the Yassi colours is looking very quick on the restart here. We have 1 lap to decide the winner of race 1, round 3. Who will it be that takes the checkered flag first into La Source? Aldeheri looking to the outside. This one of the first times we've seen Munoz having to defend in this race. The run down to Eau Rouge now, and Aldeheri is right with the French driver, who's having to just try and put a bit of a defensive line on. You can see now the dry patches as they come up through Radion for the final time in this race. Nakamura Berta breaking away from Weldon. and he'll be hoping to see a battle ahead so he can join the party, and that's exactly what's happening. Al-Dahiri has the run. He's down the outside on the Kemmel Straight. Munoz trying to hold on. Who is going to come out of Lake On in the lead? On the brakes hard. Munoz there holding off Al-Dahiri, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and Al-Dahiri now trying to get the switch back towards the Brussels hairpin. Here comes Keen Nakamura Berta as well in the red and white Prema. It is now 3 for the lead and 3/4 of a lap remaining here at Spa. Through the hairpin now, and we've got where this no-name corner next, and then we go down to Pouan, and look at them, 3 of them in a line all together. Munoz leading to the outside goes Al-Dahiri. They seem to have swapped to the left-hand side of screen, but it is Munoz leading from Al-Dahiri, then Nakamura Berta next. Half a lap to go now. Munoz doing his best to try and break the toe. Also joining in now is Yuki Sano, who is by Seb Weldon for 4th place, so it's going to be almost 4 for the leaders. Side by side they go. Now that Al-Dahiri trying to get by Munoz, but Munoz will still be leading into Stavolo. One more run down to the chicane. We could be as many as 3 wide here. It is going to now be flat out all the way to the final braking zone of this race. Who will win? You can see right in the toe there is Al-Dahiri closing in on Munoz all the time. Will now have one opportunity to try and steal the win from the French rookie. The ART driver flat out now through Blanchimont. Into the final chicane we go. Will Al-Dahiri be able to get by? He tries to sell the dummy. Munoz is wise to it. On the brakes they go into the chicane. Has he nailed his braking zone? He's run a little wide. Al-Dahiri now trying to get the run round the outside. Nakamura Berta right there, but it will be Alexandre Munoz who takes his first win in the FIA Formula Regional European Championship, and a first for ART Grand Prix this season. Rashid Al-Dahiri in 2nd place, 1.5 tenths back, and Keen Nakamura Berta finishes in 3rd. A great drive from Yuki Sano going into 4th place on that final lap. Seb Weldon in 5th. Emanuele Olivieri finishes P6. Then it's Ninovic, Reza Siwerthan, Gabriel Gomez, the 3 Rodin drivers all together, and Maximilian Popov in P10. Let's watch the replay then. Here was Al-Dahiri to the outside, and Munoz very good on the brakes there, just getting his elbows out when necessary to allow himself to keep the lead, and just forcing Rashid Al-Dahiri to back out the move. And then once again we saw them almost coming side by side through that final chicane. It looked like Munoz had just run a little bit too deep on the brakes, but was able to hold off Rashid Al-Dahiri. Keen Nakamura Berta in 3rd. A great final lap there. Munoz, the first rookie to win now in 2 years since Evan Gilter, fellow French ART driver, won at Hockenheim. And the first rookie not only to get pole, but to now win this season, and that will put him into the lead of the rookie standings. Out of the car he climbs, and Alexandre Munoz takes the win here at Spa. The first race of the weekend goes to the young French driver, and look at what it means to him. The driver competing in French F4 last season, coming up to the championship, and now he's put it on pole position and taken a lights to flag victory in very, very difficult conditions. You wouldn't have had a rookie down winning this race, but he held off the experienced Rashid Al-Dahiri behind, and what confidence that will give Alexandre Munoz going forward this season. A huge congratulations to him and to the whole team at ART Grand Prix as well. Nakamura Berta, another podium for him now. That is 3 this season. Likewise for Rashid Al-Dahiri, a 3rd podium for him as well. He's just going to get his crash helmet off, and Ian Salvestrin is ready to speak to a new winner in the FIA Formula Regional European Championship. It is Alexandre Munoz. Ian, down to you.
Quelle victoire, what an incredible race, what a victory, what emotion. Alex Munoz, how did you do that? What an incredible victory, particularly on the final lap.
Yeah, it was incredible all the way. All the race we had a great pace. Only the last lap was a bit tricky with Rashid, it was really close, but yeah, at the end that's the victory, so yeah, really happy.
So pole position and the victory. This is a perfect weekend. Despite the rain, it's actually working out for you. How was the car despite the conditions?
It was amazing. The RG car is like flying on the rain all the time. So yeah, thanks to the team, they did an incredible job all this season. We are working really hard and we improved after round. So yeah, we're really happy. And let's see tomorrow how it goes.
Super, félicitations, le vainqueur ici, Alex Munoz. Congratulations, the race one winner, Alex Munoz for Art Grand Prix. We'll see you on the podium.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ian, the French F4 champion there, proving why he was champion in that. Had a great weekend when he came here last year as well. And Alex Munoz taking a win, and really now he's going to be in a fight with the likes of Emanuele Olivieri for the rookie standings, but will elevate himself up a number of positions from P11 in the standings, taking the 25 points for the victory. It was Keen Nakamura-Berta who took the point for the fastest lap. Good to see some people have made it to the circuit and stuck with us to watch the first race of the weekend. It's really starting to brighten up here now. We didn't get many laps at racing speed, did we? But Munoz had to hold off the likes of Aldeheri on a couple of safety car restarts, and particularly the one on that final lap as well, which would have been hugely difficult. Aldeheri gave it everything he could, but Munoz, it's his day today. Due to the delays, there will be no podium to show you on the live stream. I'm afraid we are going to have to close it here. Our winner is Alexandra Munoz from Rashid Aldeheri, Keen Nakamura-Berta. We will be live for qualifying at 9:55 tomorrow, and then the second race of the weekend at 20 minutes past 2 local time. That is our current schedule. Just keep an eye on social media for any changes to that. Well, hopefully we get a brighter day of things tomorrow, but today we have a new winner in Alexandra Munoz. For now, from myself, Chris McCarthy, Ian Salvestrin, it's goodbye.